good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. I'm excited because today I'm doing a video all about using red eyeshadow. I really enjoy red eyeshadow, and I just have 4 palettes that I wanted to showcase looks with. So if you want to see the looks I come up with, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to connect with another enthusiast that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So red eyeshadow can be a bit tricky based on your complexion, based on your eye color, and based on the shade of red that you choose to use. But I have really come to enjoy using red eyeshadow, especially a nice red smoky eye. I love that. I love soft red looks. So I just wanted to showcase 4 palettes that I have and do a look with each. And then at the end, I'm gonna rank them. So the first eyeshadow palette that I'm gonna use is new. This is the Dior Red Tartan Quint. This is one of their velvet eyeshadow quints, and they released 5 of these. I now have 4. Don't judge. After that, you're gonna see me do a look with the Gemini 2 palette by Melt Cosmetics. And there's that beauty right here. And this is their little sequel, or their sequel. I hate when people say little. This is their sequel to the Gemini palette. And this one's a bit tricky to use. The third palette that I'm gonna be using is by BH Cosmetics, and this is from their Sweet Shops collection. And the palette is called Cherry on Top. And this is kind of reddish pink. And last but not least will be the look I am going to create now. Well, it'll be my 4th look. And this is my Chanel quad, the only one I have. And if I can open it up, it's called Candor at Seduction. And that's this one right here. So without further ado, let's get into these 4 looks. I'm gonna let you know how I feel about each look throughout the video. Then I'll be back at the end to rank these palettes and wrap it up. All right, you guys, so first up in this kind of red eyeshadow palette showdown is gonna be the Dior Quint, Velvet Quint. And this is the shade Red Tartan. And here's what it looks like. And I believe of all the new Dior Velvet Quints to come out, this is the deepest one. And I'm a sucker for this like red eyeshadow at times. And I think it kind of goes, I have a little dress, let me show y'all. I got on a little trench coat situation. Well, it's not a trench. And then this little dress is sleeveless, but I'm not doing all that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this look. This is not, oh my God. As per usual, this is gonna be super fast. Let's go ahead and start with this shade. I'm using a Rephr 14 brush. Gonna give you a little bit of information about this palette. So these Dior Quints that have just released are a newer formula. I don't know if it's all of the shades. It's a velvet formula that includes, I think, cornflower oil, and that's supposed to increase the longevity of the shadow, like while you're wearing it. It definitely doesn't increase the 6-month shelf life. Destroy. Doesn't do that. Just kind of tapping this in and swiping it on over. Bring it down here in the crease to the front part of the lid. So that's our initial shade. And what I want to do now is I want to go into the middle red to put in the crease and the outer corner. I don't know if I'm going to go with the 2 deepest shades. I can always follow up with another video. I'm just going to get this red on the inner and outer portion of the lid because I'm going to put the lighter shimmer in the middle, kind of like a, it's going to be kind of like a halo, but kind of not really. These shimmers, I feel like, or this satin shimmer that's in this palette is not like really sparkly or anything. So if you're somebody that doesn't like a sparkly or very like punchy, I don't know the word I'm looking for, glittery shimmer, shiny shimmer, these are perfect for you. But if you do, if you like indie makeup like me, this shimmer in this palette is going to be a little lackluster. So I know that if I do want that look, I'll probably pull out a single that I have, which is not a big deal. But it is a big deal if, you know, that's what you're looking for and then you pay this amount of money because it is not cheap. Enough of that. Let's go into the under eye really quickly, back into this shade, and I'm just gonna sweep it underneath. I'm just gonna use this brush to just diffuse it a little bit. Now what we're gonna do is go into that light shimmer. All right, I'm just gonna take my finger. You see it's very, very light. It's barely a shimmer. I mean, it is more of a satin, so I don't even know if we should call it a shimmer. I'm just gonna tap it, focus it in the middle, and on the inner, I guess. Halo situation is not happening, I don't think. But sometimes I really, really appreciate this kind of look. Not all the time, but it's just so, it's so soft. So here's what we're working with, and easy to use. The mattes blend really nicely, as you can see. And I think these are very pigmented, not the shimmer, but you know, the other shades are very pigmented. So I really don't have any complaints. Now what I'm gonna do is take my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude highlighter and just put a little bit here in the inner corner. I do like a shimmery inner corner, so that's why I'm taking this highlight, and it gives a little more than that light satin shade. This is making me think about my Chanel quad, which I will be using in this video but haven't used yet, and what the shimmer shade looks like in that one, because they're very close. But here's the look. I'm gonna just finish this up and I'll be back to let you know what I think about it. All right, you guys, this is the final look. I really like it. It was very easy. Is this a special standout look where you're like, oh my gosh, I have to have that particular palette to achieve the look? Absolutely not. But let me tell you about the rest of the things I have on my face, because I'm trying to keep it all straight here. So let's start with the base. I have on the #1 de Chanel Skin Tint. This is in the shade B50. I am wearing the Armani, I think this is called Power Fabric. Yes, foundation or concealer. This is in the shade 5. I have the Pat McGrath Under Eye Blur Powder in the shade Yellow. Bronzer is the Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Bronzer. Healthy Bronzing Cream, goodness gracious. It is the deeper shade, Tan Deep Bronze. For blush, I have on the Hourglass At Night blush, which I absolutely love. This one you can really build up, but I wasn't trying to be too red. On my lips for liner, I have on the Lisa Eldridge liner in Velvet Affair. And then I have on the Chanel, what do we call this? Rouge Cocoa in the shade Adrian. Perfect nude, love it. I have on the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude highlighter. And then to finish off the eyes, I am using the Charlotte Tilbury double-ended liner in Mesmerizing Maroon. I use the matte for the top, and I use the metallic for the lower. And my mascara is the Melt, what do we call it? The Supernatural Lash Mascara, which I feel like is getting dried up, or I'm done using it or something like that. I don't know. Not sure if this is my favorite. I've been using it for some time now. I feel like my lashes do get a little clumpy with this, and you know, they came out with that little fan brush, which I have as well, but like, who's trying to do all that? Not me. All right, y'all, so I think those are all the details for today's look. Overall, I do like the Dior Red Tartan quad. I think it's something that you could make a really quick look. Now, I think we can go deeper. I didn't use the 2 deepest shades, so not I think. We can go deeper, and maybe I can do that in another video. But let's get to another palette. All right, you guys, the second red look is going to be with Gemini 2. Struggled with this palette a little bit because this palette is so deep and so grungy. I struggle because I like to use a lot of eyeshadows. Make sure nobody was out there. I like to use multiple shades, especially if I'm doing some type of review on a palette, making sure my mic is on. And this one, I just couldn't get the shades to show up. So now that I'm just playing and I'm not like reviewing anything or trying to show, you know, showcase it, let's just see what we come up with today. And I'm excited to do this. Now, the lip may not stay. I'm not sure, it just depends. But this is the shade Ruby Firelight by Gucci. And this is my first time wearing it, but I've had it for a while. I really like it, but just not sure if it's gonna be what I want. I wanna go right into the shade Sweetheart. And today I'm gonna use a Glam Light blender brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit and tap it off. And we're just going to go ahead and start by tapping this shade into the transition area. I'm just gonna pull this shade out a little bit. And I am gonna blend this out probably with the shade Bella or Ladylike, so I'm not gonna go up really any higher than this. I'm just making sure this is even. And I really like this shade. It's like a little dusty shade. All right, I really like how this shade looks on the eye. So I'm gonna take a Blends Bunny. Let's see, this is a B5 brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Bella, and I'm gonna use Bella to just soften this up on the upper portion of Sweetheart. I'm pretty much taking it up to the brow bone just to diffuse it out. And then I'm gonna also take it on the outer edges. I'm just taking it very, very softly. Now I'm taking a Blend Bunny's B4 brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Lovesick. And I think, honestly, if you use any more reds with this look, it's gonna all blend together. So I'm just focusing this in the crease, and you can see that that's making this look a lot deeper. So really nice smoky red. I'm gonna go back into my Glam Light Fluffy brush to just blend this together a little bit more. Going into the shade Schmood, I'm using a Morphe Lip Shader brush. I am gonna spray it. This is a very deep shimmer. I do wish that this palette had a lighter shimmer. I'm just spraying it with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray today. And let's go ahead and place Schmood all over the lid. If you don't like deep shimmers, you're definitely gonna have to pair this palette with something else, or if you have singles that you like, because there really isn't a light shimmer in this palette, and I don't really like any of the shades for an inner corner highlight. This is really pretty though for monochromatic looks, and as far as the shimmers go, these are the best ones that Melt does, because they have a crumbly formula that I don't like as much. But the Gemini 2 palette and the Gemini 1 palette do not have those crumbly shimmers. I'm just gonna use my finger. I feel like my finger is doing a better job, and I don't feel like the color popped anymore with the setting spray. I really think the finger application looks better. All right, I'm gonna reach into another palette for a second. I'm not sure how this is gonna look, but I'm gonna take the Natasha Denona Pastel palette, and I was thinking about this shade Starlit and what it would look like if we just took a little bit of Starlit and placed it on top. I'm not sure if that's gonna, I don't think that's doing anything. What about Illusion? Let me see something. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye since I already started. But let me take Illusion. Illusion is that multi-chrome shade, and let's just put that on top of Schmood and Starlit. And I just think that's gonna lighten it up just a little bit, because Illusion is supposed to be a transforming shade that you can use as a topper. I don't think it looks bad though. Switching back to Gemini, let's go into the shade Bella. And we're gonna put that on the lower lash line. This is a beautiful peachy pink shade. And with a shade like this, I don't really mind bringing it down lower than usual. I actually watched a reel with Laura Oriano where she showed how she used the cream blush. It was the Sandy Cheeks, I believe. She used that, and she had it kind of under the lower lash line. She used a little bit of concealer, like I want to say in the middle. It was really cute. I think I saved it because I want to try that look. But I'm bringing down Bella pretty low. I do recognize that this is not a look for everybody, because sometimes these peachy and red and pinky shades can make people look sick. So hopefully it's not making me look sick. Let's go back into the Natasha Denona Pastel palette one more time for an inner corner highlight shade. I think I'm gonna go into Limoncello, which is this one here. It's just a shimmery pale yellow, almost can look white. So use that as our highlight today. And there's the look. All right, you guys, let me know what you think about that. I'm gonna finish it up and then I'll be back to let you know what I think. Okay, you guys, I'm back with the finished look. To finish off the look, I use a ColourPop Cream Gel Eyeliner. and it's just a matte coppery shade. I'm sorry, I don't know the name because it wore off. And then for mascara, I'm trying a new sample. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. So I think the mascara looks pretty good. For my face, I have on the Nars foundation mixed with my Auric Glow Lust and Pyrite. I have on the Pat McGrath concealer. I have on Gucci bronzer and the Pat McGrath blur powder. Now for the blush today, I started out using the Melt Cosmetics cream blush in the shade Daydreamer, but I kind of felt like it was going to be a bit dark, and it was. So I lightened it up with this Chantecaille Emotion Bee blush that always makes me mad. That's a long story, but it used to have a golden bee on it, and I didn't know what an overspray was at the time. It's a nice blush. So I have on both of those, no highlighter. The Daydreamer blush is a shimmery blush. Now I told you about the lipstick. It was Ruby Firelight by Gucci, and it looks like this, but I kind of felt like that was a bit bright, so I toned it down. I don't know if you can tell, just a tad, with my tried and true Chanel Rouge Coco lipstick in the shade Adrian. And Adrian is the Rouge Coco is really creamy and hydrating, and I think that it feels a lot better than the Gucci lipsticks. The Gucci lipsticks aren't bad. There's just a texture to them where I know that this feels better. So that's what I did for the look. Now let's talk about the look. I absolutely love this. I think it came out way better than the look that I did with Gemini. I think because, like I said before, I just had so many expectations for using a lot of colors. And I think one of the things that I need to understand is, like, I don't have to use 5 and 6 shades for a look. You know what I mean? If I do, that's cool. But like using the shades that I did for this palette, I feel like the look came out really nice, and there's nothing wrong with pulling in another palette with it. And I think that the Natasha Denona Illusion shade did enhance Schmoot just a little bit. It's still very deep. It's still smoky, but it's not as grungy. I don't know if I'm being clear, but just this Gemini 2 palette is kind of not what I expected it to be, but I do like it. I'm just going to not always be in the mood for it, and I may have to pull other things from it. So that's our second red look. Let's get into another one. All right, you guys, we are gonna get into look number 3. And today I'm gonna be using, yes? You need more? Here I come. So let's get into look number 3. We are gonna go ahead and use the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shops Cherry on Top palette. Now, unfortunately, y'all know BH Cosmetics is no more, at least for right now, and I am not sure how you can get your hands on this other than lucking up on it at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. They don't have them in the ones near me, but this palette is a gem. So we are going to start, let's see. I love this palette because you can go red or you can go more pink. I don't know what I want to do. Let's start with the shade Wild Cherry. And I am going to be using a Refer 14 brush. I'm just going to start this as per usual in the outer corner, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my back and forth motions because I've had my primer on for some time, so it's dried down. And I'm gonna concentrate this more into the crease as I get to the inner corner. I'm just building up the color a little more. Next, I want to go into the shade Sunday, and I'm going to use a BK Beauty 207 brush. I'm going to use the shade Sunday to soften up and add to the Wild Cherry shade. Taking this just below the brow bone, giving us that gradient from one color into the other. And I think that blurs the look. I've been doing this a lot lately, whereas before I used to start with the lighter color and go down. For some reason, I just feel like when you do the lighter color over top, it just really creates a nice effect. So can you tell the difference between this eye and this eye? So this one just looks to me like a more natural kind of effect, whereas this one, it's harsh. And we don't like harsh, do we? I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna go into Tarte and I'm just gonna deepen up just the crease a little bit. Because we took a little bit of the brightness away and now I wanna put it back. Hello, August. Granddad just got here. You gonna brush your teeth? Now, while I have this brush out, let's go back into Wild Cherry for the lower lash line, because I already know I'm gonna be using that color. And I really like how this connects the look. This is gonna be very monochromatic. Well, duh, it's a red eyeshadow palette video, so yes. I think this looks really nice. I'll tell you what, I hope that when BH Cosmetics does revamp, you know, they are being bought by Makeup Revolution. I just hope they're able to keep their BH Cosmetics formula and their style. I don't want them to be like Makeup Revolution. You know what I'm saying? I'm really nervous. Not nervous, but you know, I'm very curious about what's gonna happen with the brand. Okay, Granddad's here. I'm gonna let him in. This is what we're working with. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I am content. I'm pleased. Let's go into the shimmers and then maybe deepen this up a little bit. I really want to go into maraschino. This is just a beautiful, vibrant, look at that. So pretty. Let's put this on the center of the lid, just like that. Gonna take a bit of Juicy, putting it right on my pinky finger. Ooh, look at Juicy, y'all. And just placing that in the inner lid, the first half, first portion, first third, I don't know what you call it. And like, these palettes are so great, like no fallout, just nothing. Don't need to spray it. This is just a no fuss palette. Let's take a bit of Black Cherry. Black Cherry is not really showing up. I'm layering a lot here, but that's okay. And I really didn't need to use Black Cherry at all, but since I feel like I'm gonna be using all the shades, I didn't want to leave Black Cherry out. And now I'm gonna go into sprinkles on a BK Beauty A503 brush. And I'm just gonna take sprinkles and just tap. See if we can make this a little smoky. So you can see it starting there. I'm just gonna try to get in the crease a little bit and drag it out. And I probably should be using a smaller brush. So I might go into that in a minute, but I really want to get the color on. Obviously not. I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm just placing it. Going back into the rougher 14, still has a little bit of Tarte on there, and that's okay. And let's just try to soften sprinkles a bit. Yeah, there we go. Same on the other side. I think we are in good shape. And for the inner corner, we're gonna go into the shade Sweet using a BH Cosmetics pencil brush. I'm just tapping this right here in the inner corner. And I'm also just closing up any gaps there might be. Okay, you guys, this is the look. Let me know what you think about that. It's very vibrant. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and I'll be back to let you know my thoughts. All right, you guys, I'm back. Here is the finished look. Ooh, I don't know what that's doing. All right, so let me give you some deets. For my eyes, I took the Patrick Ta, what we call this, Precision Gel Liner in the shade Golden Bronze, I believe, copper gold. This is a metallic liner. It doesn't show up too much in the lower lash line, but I just didn't really want a really dark liner today. The mascara is the Benefit Their Real Mascara. For my face details, I have my Auric Glow Lust mixed with my Chanel Tint Foundation. I have on the LYS Concealer, Pat McGrath Under Eye Blur Powder in yellow. I am wearing the Chanel Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in Tan Deep. And then my blush is the Pat McGrath Desert Orchid. And I did add some more, but the camera is just kind of blowing it out. Let me see. I don't even know if you can really see it. Yeah, I feel like the camera's really washing it out, but it's on. It's definitely there. For my lips at the start of this look, I had on the Makeup by Mario Mocha Glow. What do we call this? This is called the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. So I had that on and I felt like it was cool. I'll probably alternate between the two, but this is the Dior Addict Lip Shine in the shade Icon. I know I still owe a lipstick swatch video. So once I get the videos I'm working on out the way, that one is going to be next. And that's the shade there. It's like a brownie red, but it's not too red for me. So I think that kind of looks good. So as far as this look, it's a bit bright, you know what I mean? But I love it. I love it for work. I love it for my little Disney outfit I kind of have on. Did I tell you about the shirt? Did I tell you about the shirt? The shirt says, let me tell you about the shirt. Today's shirt says Teacher by Day, Disney Princess by Night. And I did have on my Buzz Lightyear ears. I am not gonna wear them, but I do have on Toy Story socks. Okay, y'all, so back to the look. Yes, this is very vivid, very vibrant, very, I like it. And I think with the cherry on top palette, you could tone this down a little bit, but I just wanted to just show it off in all its glory. It's been some time since I have used this palette, but this is a great reminder of why I like it. Whereas the first two red palettes so far, you know, are the Dior it was a little more subtle, I feel like, a little more soft. And then the Melt Red look was, you know, that palette is a bit grungy. This one is like kind of an in-your-face red pink palette. This is the most different palette so far out of the three. So I really do appreciate having this. And if you can find it in your Marshalls or TJ Maxx, and if you can find it in your Marshalls or your TJ Maxx, I would definitely go for it because I think they're running for like $8. So great palette. That was a great series by BH Cosmetics. So sad to see those go. Anyway, we are going to get into one final look and then I'm going to rank these palettes and wrap it up. All right, you guys, time for the last and final look with the Chanel Quad Candor at Seduction. It's got a French pronunciation, but I'm not trying to mess that up. All right, now you can see these shades look very similar, but there are some slight differences. I am going to start with this shade right here, and then I'm gonna deepen up with this one. I think that's gonna be my plan. And I'm taking this on a What's Up Beauty R104 brush. I'm starting in the outer corner as usual and just blending it on over. So this red is more like a burgundy, I think. To me, it has more brown in it. I purchased this quad because when this came out, my friend Yadi got it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so pretty. I just really wanted to try Chanel. Like I just really wanted to try it. And this is one that I have not regretted at all. I'm wondering, is this blending out better than the Dior? Because once I bought the Red Tartan, I was like, oh, you really didn't need that Red Tartan, Quint, because it's so similar to this. But I wanted to try, I just wanted to try it out because they said it had this velvet effect. I don't know. I'll have to do it again, but I just feel like this one always blends out so nicely. And luckily, Chanel doesn't have a whole lot of color stories I like because I don't need any more expensive habits. Like makeup is already such an expensive habit. But look at that. This color just, I love it. So I think this looks really beautiful. Now I am going to go into the deeper shade, but before I do that, I want to go into this one, which is more of a true red. And I'm taking a Blend Bunnies B1 brush and I am going to put that all over the lid. And I think with these, especially the reds being so close, it's kind of hard to see the differences between them, especially if you're not packing them on, because I can see the differences in the pan, but that's the thing on the eye, depending on how you diffuse it out. And I really love this red on the lid like that. These mattes are so, like, they're just so soft. So then we have the red on the lid. I am now gonna go into this deeper red. And this one has more of, I don't want to say a purple with it, but, or mauve-y, I'm not sure, but this is the brown one. And this is the deep one I'm about to use. And then this is the red rim. So you can see they're all different, but it's just how does it translate? And is it worth it? I'm taking the same brush and see, and this is the thing about these types of quads and the Dior Quint. I don't know if they're designed to use all of the shades, because when you do, it just doesn't translate. But maybe if I use 2 shades, you know what I mean? I could probably see a more pronounced difference. You know, for me, when I'm using 6 and 7 shades at times, it feels weird to only maybe use 2. And that doesn't lessen the look or lessen how beautiful it is, but it always just feels, when I'm using a bigger palette, I feel like I'm wasting the palette. But like with something like this, you could do like 1 and dones pretty easily, 2 and dones. I don't call it 2 and dones, but you know what I'm saying. Let's go into our original shade, same brush for the lower lash line. I always have to remind myself about these quads. Like they usually include, I can't remember if the Chanel one did, but the Dior one, yeah, I don't have the box for the Chanel, but the Dior one always has look suggestions, and usually the top 3 shades, they have a look for that, which is more of a daytime, and then the bottom 3 are supposed to be like a nighttime. I was watching a video from my friend Jen from All Feisty, and she was talking about how you can look at the Dior Quints, I'll show you at the end, and take the 3 going down the side and make a look, or kind of like diagonals to do like contrast. So I thought that was really interesting. I don't think they're designed for you to use all 5 shades in a look, because that can feel less exciting. It can feel drab. All right, I'm starting to get a little bit carried away with this. It's becoming a bit vampy, but that's kind of what I was going with. I did want to show the difference between the Dior Quint and this one, so I don't feel like I wasted my money. So let's keep it real here. Just taking a clean Morphe blender and just softening this up. I'm trying to drag it out a little bit. This one is really pigmented. I was about to forget a shade. Let's just take the shimmer and tap it all over. Now again, these shimmers are not the shimmiest. See it right there? It's more of a satin shimmer. It's not a sparkly shimmer. You're not gonna see it a mile away. You're just not. You barely see it on the eye. But we're just gonna go ahead and tap it. And again, everybody doesn't like the sparkly shimmers. Now I will say I do like it over the red matte. Now that does lighten us up a little bit. It's kind of the same thing I did with the Gemini look, and now I wish I just kind of left this matte and deep. Oh, I really like the, you know what? I don't know if I can even put it back. Now that I'm looking at this, I really like that matte red for the lid. Let's see if I can put it back. Yeah, I'm putting it back. I'm putting it back, y'all. I really liked it. So let's just go ahead and change this back. And what I'll do is put that shimmer in the inner corner. I feel like it's not as deep as it was at first, but I really like that matte. Like this is a really nice matte red. God, every time I use this, I'm in love with it all over again. Yeah, let's do that. And we were gonna go vampy, let's just do it. And now I'm gonna take a pencil brush, and I'm just gonna take the shimmer and just pop it in the inner corner just to give us something here. Let's take a little bit up here in the brow bone. You can just see that little bit of sheen right there, and I like that. From afar, it still looks vampy. All right, I will be back to wrap up this video, let you know what I think, and rank these babies, and then we're gonna get out of here. Let me tell you what I have on my face. So as per usual, I have the Auric Glow Lust and Pyrite with my Chanel foundation. Is that what I have on? Yes, that's what I have on. I have on the Dior Skin Glow Concealer and Pat McGrath Blur Powder. For bronzer, I'm using the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick in shade 3. And then for blush, I am sure I had this on in one of the other looks. This is my Hourglass at night. I just wanted a monochromatic blush situation. I just don't know if I would like the red with the pink blush. It could work, but I love this blush so much. Have a lot on today actually, because for lips, I went with one of my tried and true combos. This is the Vive lip pencil in the shade Rumor, which is just a deep brown matte shade. And then I have on my Dior Velvet lipstick in the shade New Look. I love this shade so much. I love this lipstick. I love the texture, the feel. It's great. And then, you know, without a liner, it takes on a whole different look. And with the liner, it's just a little deeper. Now to finish up the eye look, I took the Chanel Stylo eyeliner and I bought that when I bought this quad. And this is called Romance. And you do not need to pay for these. It's kind of a satin burgundy or red shade. And it's kind of a satiny shade. And it goes perfectly with the quad. I would say, you know, with liners, I'm usually using my ColourPop. So, but because I have that one, I'm using it. And then the mascara is the Benefit They're Real mascara. So yes, that is this look. Let me know what you think about it. I'm loving this look. I'm loving the smokiness. I love the ease of how to use that quad. I think it's great. This is what got me loving red eyeshadow. That's where it all started. So with that being said, I think it's time to go ahead and rank these 4 palettes. Now, in order to rank these palettes, I do need to look at the Chanel and the Dior side by side so we can see just how similar they are. Let's check these out. Yes, super similar. Maybe differences in finishes, but as far as I think the deep brown that's in the Dior might be the difference, or maybe not even the deep brown, maybe the one in the top, but this one right here, that one. So all in all, these are super, super close. So if I had to rank these, let's start with what's gonna be in last place. Let's start there. Of course, I'm gonna do a ranking when I need to go to work. Last place for me is going to be the Gemini 2 palette. And I honestly can't believe I'm saying that because I was so excited for this palette to come out. But I just think that this palette could have been edited down a lot being the way that it is. I don't have a problem with it all being grungy. I mean, I kind of do. But if it was edited down a bit, like you could have taken some of these shades out because so many of them blend together. So honestly, the way that I use the Dior and the Chanel, it could be almost like that because these blend together. These 2 blend together right here on me. These 2 blend together on me. Even these 2 blended together. I mean, it really just looked like one shade. I feel like this was kind of the best look I did in this video versus my review video. The only way that I felt like I was getting something different was when I did mix the red and the green shades. With that being said, the other issue I have with this palette are the shimmers. There are no bright shimmers and I just wanted one. I think this could have been and should have been a shimmery finish. That way you could lighten up shades without pulling out another palette. You could have a shimmery inner corner highlight. I have to rank this last, and it's very unfortunate because it does look appealing, but to me, it looks better than the looks that I make on my eyes. This is gonna be a companion palette at best for the most part, but I have to edit down the way I use my eyeshadow, especially with this isn't a big palette, but with palettes that are not quints or quads. I don't want to use 2 shades. I want to use as many as I can, but it doesn't make any sense when they all look the same. So that's kind of what I'm feeling about this and why I'm ranking this in 4th place. Now for 3rd place, I do need a little more time with this one because it's new, but I'm gonna go ahead and rank the Dior Red Tartan in 3rd place. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, what I did want to share was how, see, 1, 2, and 3 could make one look, and then 1, 2, and 3 could make a deeper look. And then you could also do 1, 2, and 3 on the side, or 1, 2, and 3 on this side, or you could go across. I really would like to experiment more with that because, as I said, I tend to go for my eyeshadow in a certain way, and these are just more like, I would say, edited looks, more curated looks. Trying to use it all, I think it's just going to be, I don't know, just a blur. Kind of like the Melt palette, But I'm not mad about this because it is only 5 shades. And I'll say, okay, I'm just gonna use 2 shades. I'm gonna use a one and done. I'm gonna use 3 shades. But when you have 10 shades, it's like, I can only use 2. No, absolutely not. Now this is tough because you know what we have left. I'm having a hard time choosing between these. The bright, beautiful, vibrant look that I created with the Sweet Shops, it was so gorgeous. And on top of that, the look stayed all day long. Like when I came home, it just still looked so fresh. And then the Chanel, this one is so easy. And I just love how velvety these mattes feel. And this is what really got me into the red eyeshadow in the first place. But this shimmer is a bit lackluster. I do love these reds. And then as I'm looking at this, because originally I was gonna rank this first, but now I'm looking and I'm like, you know, I can go red if I want to. I could just use these two and maybe achieve a similar look. All right, number 2 is gonna be the Chanel for now. But see, out of all the looks, this one might be my favorite. Can we have a tie? I just love this. These mattes are so good. These are tied. I'm sorry. These are tied for first place. And you know what I love about all of this? I love the range of brands that we had in this video. We got Chanel, Dior, Melt, and BH Cosmetics. And I just have to give this a tie. I'm sorry. Like, this palette is just as good. And just, oh, I love these for different reasons. The vibrancy, the shimmers, the variety of this. I absolutely love it. I love that we did a pink look, but I could do a smoky red look if I want to. This, the ease, the blend, the sophistication, like this is just so easy to look at and just, I don't know what it is, but these mattes are so good. Okay, that's it. I can't choose between the two of them. I thought I could, but I can't. So that's it. We're gonna end it here. Let me know which palettes you liked. Have you tried any of them? Do you like red eyeshadow? Is it too much? Let me know what you're thinking. I really had so much fun with this video. So thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today for this little red eyeshadow showcase. I hope this was therapy for you because it always is for me. Oh, let me show y'all my shirt real quick since I'm already pushing it. It's really rainy and dreary today, but it says my history started with, and then it crosses out slavery. And then it says emperors, kings, queens. What else does it say? Inventors and innovators. Love this shirt. Cannot remember where I got it, but you know how sometimes Instagram will suggest, you know, little things, and I ended up going and getting some t-shirts from this company. But I love this t-shirt, y'all. I have on my black Converses as usual, and I have on some Marvin the Martian socks. Yes. And of course, I always need to have a little cardigan or something. This one's cool because it has a hood. So yes, y'all, yes. Out here in the rain looking like a little plaid riding hood. Okay, I'm doing too much. Let me get out of here, y'all. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. So until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with, no, one more thing. Guess what I got a sample of, y'all? Guess what this is? House of Sillage Batman. So if you don't like unisex scents, you're not gonna like this one, but it you know what it smells like? It smells like Gotham. So in my mind, Gotham is smelling like leather and sandalwood a little bit. It's got a little bit of something sweet in here. Let me go, because I'm about to be late. I hope this was therapy for you, because it always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself, talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.